Vroom. Swerve. Crash. There's nothing quite as exhilarating as watching the perfect car chase scene in a movie. Racing through the streets at ever-increasing speeds, careening nearly out of control and smashing anything in their path. Or gracefully missing an explosive wreck by just a couple of inches. Either way, they make the adrenaline flow and set the heart a-racing in ways that few other cinematic scenes can do. So let's check some out. I'm Nostalgic Nick for Do You Remember? And today we're looking at some of the best car chases from the most revved up decade of them all, the 1970s.
10-4.
Be sure to hit that thumbs up icon for us, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But without further ado, strap in for a wild ride. The French Connection. Of course we're starting with the granddaddy of them all, possibly the best car chase in history. The iconic scene in 1971's The French Connection. Detective Popeye Doyle, played by the incomparable Gene Hackman, is pursuing a hitman on an elevated train, while he's in a car on the streets below. Cue the mayhem.
The only thing we had permits for were to shoot on the elevated train.
The scene is shot partially with dashboard and bumper-mounted cameras, so you feel like you're right there in the car with Hackman. And the chase also involved stuntmen and cars who were supposed to narrowly miss each other, but they ended up colliding.
And this crash was entirely unplanned. At the wheel of the white Ford was a civilian driver who was uninvolved in the shoot.
And the whole thing was considered so dangerous to film that the movie's director, William Friedkin, operated the camera in the car because he was single and the rest of the cameramen were all married. All in all, a heart-pounding adventure of a scene. Duel. Long before E.T. and Jurassic Park wowed audiences, Steven Spielberg made his directorial debut in 1971 with this action thriller Duel. It's about a commuter being chased and terrorized through Southern California by a rogue truck driver. Now this movie features numerous exhilarating car chases, and Spielberg beautifully paces the scene, reminding us that car chases don't necessarily have to go fast. In this scene where our hero, stopped at a train crossing, is being inexorably pushed towards the oncoming locomotive, pushes us to the edge of our seat. And the most eerie and threatening aspect of the whole movie is that Spielberg never shows the truck driver. The 2-ton face of death remains a mystery the whole film. The Man with the Golden Gun. While any number of heart-pounding car chases from 70s Bond flicks could have ended up on this list, we're going with 1974's The Man with the Golden Gun. Not for the pursuit itself, but rather for one spectacular stunt. Roger Moore's Bond, in a brilliant piece of product placement, has commandeered an AMC Hornet, and he's gone tearing off after the baddies. But they unfortunately give him the slip, and Bond is left facing half of a rickety, broken wooden bridge, which he promptly decides to jump. The Hornet revs up, hits the bridge, and does a remarkable 360-degree corkscrew in midair, landing safely on the other side. The stunt is incredible, and in a first for Hollywood, the stunt was modeled on a computer before the execution, which was nailed in one take at the first attempt. But the kicker is, producers then decided to ruin the entire effort by pairing this incredible stunt with the sound of a slide whistle over top. Bad move.
Oh no.
The 7-Ups. Borrowing heavily from another iconic chase scene in Bullet, the high-speed pursuit in 1973's The 7-Ups is sure to leave you breathless. The chase takes place on the streets of Upper Manhattan between two Pontiacs, a Grandville sedan and a Ventura coupe, driven by Roy Scheider and Bill Hickman. As the cars bounce up and down the steep grades of roads, they shear off parked cars' doors, careen through garbage, of course, and generally treat New York like a giant pinball machine. The scene abruptly ends when, in a tribute to Jane Mansfield's death, Scheider's car plows into the back of an 18-wheeler, tearing off his roof like a can of sardines. He survives, but the audience can be forgiven for any heart attacks that occurred at the sudden and horrific end to that chase. Vanishing Point. Ever been watching a movie and thought to yourself, wait a second, there's not enough adrenaline pumping through my veins right now. Must not be enough car chases. Then this is the movie for you, because 1971's Vanishing Point is basically just one long car chase. The film's about a disaffected former race car driver delivering a souped-up Dodge Charger from Denver to San Francisco in under 40 hours, while using enough speed to get the whole audience buzzing. As you may have guessed, everything does not go especially well for our driver, and he's eventually pursued by the entire California Highway Patrol in a thrilling chase that ends in tragedy. This film's a cult classic and a must-watch for fans of car chases. Mad Max. Now we got chase scenes galore in a post-apocalyptic Australia directed by the great George Miller and starring a young, exceptionally handsome, pre-anti-Semitic Mel Gibson. Yes, please. And we're highlighting the chase scene that opens the film, as it sucks you in and lands on this list. Gang leader Knight Rider and his girlfriend have killed a cop and escaped onto Australia's highways, evading or destroying numerous patrol units along the way. Enter Mel Gibson, the baddest cop this side of Brisbane, and Knight Rider's luck changes. Mel rams the back of the gang leader's car at a crucial moment, distracting the murderer and leading him to a magnificent fiery explosion of a death. A brilliant way to introduce the road warrior to the world, and certainly one of the best movie opening car chase scenes of all time. Smokey and the Bandit. Two bootleggers have to get 400 cases of Coors from Texas to Georgia in under 28 hours.
I forgot to tell you, I'm running block here for 400 cases of illegal brew.
Sounds silly, but back in the day, Coors was prized for not containing any preservatives, and it couldn't be found east of the Mississippi.
You take that east of Texas, and that's bootlegging.
So it makes sense that 1977's Smokey and the Bandit was a massive hit and made Burt Reynolds and Sally Field into household names. And it also gave us one of the most memorable car chases in cinema history. Reynolds drove his iconic black 1977 Pontiac Trans Am as the blocker to distract the police from the illegal shipment. And distract them he did. Burt led Sheriff Buford T. Justice, played by the great Jackie Gleason, on a merry chase, culminating in the famous shot of the Trans Am leaping over a broken down bridge. A stunt, mind you, performed with the aid of a rocket strapped to the car. An awesome scene that blazed onto this list. The Driver. This flick's about a silent getaway driver for bank robberies that starred Ryan O'Neal and was the inspiration for 2017's hit movie Baby Driver. So yeah, it might just have a cool chase scene or two. And while 1978's The Driver has many awesome action-packed sequences, the scene that stands out the most to us happens about halfway through the movie. Why this one, you ask? Well, first of all, the chase happens at night, which was unusual then and super cool now. Second, O'Neal is driving a red pickup truck, not the usual car chase scene, and racing with a Pontiac Firebird with bad tribal tattoos. Third, the chase ends up in an industrial warehouse, so moments of intense speed are blended with periods of almost inertia. Incredible pacing. And did I mention the chase ends in a high-stakes game of chicken? Gone in 60 seconds. Sorry all you Nicolas Cage fans out there. We are not talking about the not-so-great 2000 remake, but in fact the 1974 original. And why, might you ask? Maybe because if sheer volume is your bag, then it's hard to beat the final chase scene in the first best Gone in 60 Seconds. The chase scene goes on for an astounding 40 minutes. Yes, you heard that right. 40 frickin' minutes. And in the process, over 93 cars were wrecked. And in the age before computer graphics, that's a whole lot of car crashes. And the jump that ends the chase is also very impressive, as the Eleanor, a souped-up 1971 Ford Mustang, managed to reach a height of over 30 feet over a distance of 128. Something that wouldn't ever be attempted today without CGI or a gas-powered catapult. So yeah, go watch it. Well, I am out of gas. And those were some of the most rip-roaring, pulse-racing, intense car chases of the 70s. So which of these do you remember watching on the big screen? Which was the best of the 70s? And is there a 70s car chase that we forgot? Please add it in the comments below. I'm always racing to make a round 2. If you enjoyed our high-speed look back, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a beat. From all of us here at Do You Remember, thank you very much for watching.